Hey, welcome back. Everyone's been asking, how do we play the Haunted Mansion event? It is a little confusing, I'll give you that. So let's go ahead and talk about it because this one I have a feeling is going to be sticking around for a while. So we all got this message yesterday, very generic about how it works. Honestly, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. The whole point is you complete the level by beating it, you earn prizes, and then it opens to another level. So the point is you tap on objects on your screen to see what to do. If you complete all the tasks, then you get to complete the level. You help your team by working toward these goals, or you can help yourself by just working on the treasure chests. Now, it will make sense as we go along, but Scopely did put out a little Adventure Club tips and tricks kind of image yesterday, and it did help a little bit. So let's talk about that first. My advice to you is think of this like a card game. So we have the tips and tricks. The first one says when ice, cold, or on fire boosts are active, target the higher number action cards to maximize that boost. That's probably one of the most important tips I can give you. And you'll see that in gameplay here in a little bit. But remember that when you're super ice cold or you're on fire, go for the larger numbers. So then it goes ahead and talks about treasure chests. So in addition to just playing the game, there are treasure chests along the way in each level. Those treasure chests completely disappear if you complete the level. So once you complete the level, you can't go back and grab a treasure chest. So it's your call whether you want to waste the tokens on trying to get those prizes or if you want to advance in the levels. But you can steal a treasure. That's the part that I don't really like, but you can start opening a treasure. You can start building toward the treasure. It takes, I believe, 3 milestones to completely open it and get the big prize from the treasure. You do get smaller ones along the way, but if you are working on a treasure chest and you've gotten the first 2 milestones over with, someone can come in and complete the third one and grab the big prize at the end, and you're kind of screwed out of it. So we'll go ahead and see that as well later on during gameplay. But the next tip that they said is to get the best multiplier for the team boost card. You have to focus on working with the other players on the same obstacle. This will make more sense when you see the gameplay, but when you have multiple people working on trying to complete one specific task, then you can actually earn extra bonus cards and bonus points. So it is helpful to have a couple people working on one event together instead of one person trying to complete it. So we'll go ahead and talk about that later as well, but let's move on to the last one. And this little tip says the event starts as soon as you team up, so act quickly to make the most of the time. That's not really a tip or trick, that's just explaining, hey, once the team's together, that's when the event begins and it is timed. So let's move on. I'm a visual learner, I know a lot of other people are too, so let's see all of these tips and tricks and all the things I've talked about actually in gameplay. So this was level 1. I had joined a team, closed my app, apparently they filled the team, and the adventure began. So some people already worked on some of the tasks here, which the first one was to build planks and then put them on a bridge and complete the bridge. I know I talked about this one, but I do need to touch base on it again real quick because there's more to it. So you have to complete the tasks in each level. You can get rewards for every object that you help with. If you don't help with it, you don't get the rewards for that. I didn't help with the first 2, so I didn't get any rewards for that. Like I said before, think of this like a card game. You have a deck of cards, you have 2 cards that will flip over, and you have to meet or beat a number that is shown on the screen that you choose. Once you choose which number you want to meet or beat, they will pull 2 cards from your stack, and you have to use the sum of those 2 cards to meet or beat the number that you chose. So I'll show you here in a minute. But there are cards that can be drawn that are additional boosts, and if you're on a losing streak, then you'll get a boost. If you're on a winning streak and your deck's on fire, you will get a boost. So there is a little bit of help along the way, which I will show you that in gameplay as well. So let's dive right in. In order to assist or to play this, you have to earn tokens, which can only be found in the top bar, the sidebar events, the 8-hour freebies, and your daily quick wins. So they are not going to be easy to come by, and they are very valuable. Each attempt to meet or beat that number is going to take 1 token. Each option you can choose has a value to it, and that value is in diamonds. So for example, 16 is worth 2, 20 is worth 3, and those diamonds correlate to how far you get in the milestones at the top. So you would think, let's go for the big one. But obviously to meet or beat a 20 is harder than meeting or beating a 16. So I would suggest going for the lowest ones until you have a streak going. There are also other boosts along the way, so if you pull doubles from the deck like this, then you get an extra card that gets added to it. It still wasn't enough to meet or beat that 16. So you can run through quite a few of those tokens trying to attempt to complete a task. Like I said before, there are treasure chests. The treasure chests take more tokens to try and complete than the milestones do. So keep that in mind. There are slightly bigger rewards, but you kind of have to run a fine line between, do I put my tokens toward that, or do I put it toward the overall game to try and win the big prize with the swap pack and the purple pack and stuff like that. So let's go back to playing the card game. Do you see how my deck is cold? That means that the deck is on ice. This means that I will get anywhere from 1 to 4 points added to my next pull. So that was 14, I got 3. So I actually did beat the 16 that time. So now I'm gonna choose the 16 instead of a 20, and I didn't beat it that time. There we go. There is a boost card. So let's talk about the blue boost card. If you pull a blue card like this one, that is your team boost card. That means, again, if there are 4 people working on that same plank or that same task, then the card number that's shown is going to be multiplied by 4. If it's 2 people working on it, it's going to be multiplied by 2. That's a huge boost, especially if you're working on a higher value number. Once again, my deck is iced because I have failed to meet or beat that number multiple times in a row. So it's continuing to add anywhere from 1 to 4 points for every time I pull cards. And here you will see how that boost helped. Those cards ended up totaling up to 15 with the boost. It was 19 and I beat the 16. And here I pulled a light blue card. If the light blue card is drawn from your deck, it immediately puts your deck on ice, which is the same as if you fail to meet or beat a number 4 or 5 times in a row, it puts your deck on ice and you will get anywhere from 1 to 4 points added to your total to help you try and meet or beat the number finally. Looks like I didn't need it that time, but my deck is still on ice, so it will continue to do that until I win again. Every attempt to meet or beat is taking a token. So here I pulled a green card. So if you pull a green card from the deck, that means that all of the cards that you've already used will get reshuffled back into your deck, which is a good thing if you were on fire or had a lot of high value cards that you already used up. Those will get reshuffled back into your deck. And at some point, you may end up with all high value milestone numbers to hit. These could take a while, so that's when those bonuses are going to be very helpful, whether it's an ice cold bonus or it's the on fire bonus or a team bonus. This is where it becomes difficult and can actually eat up some of your tokens pretty quickly. This is also where I would suggest maybe you step back. You've already contributed to this one. Maybe somebody else can beat this and you can hold on to your tokens for a little bit longer. So here I did beat the 20. It was worth 3 diamonds, which completed the milestone at the top. That completed the plank, and that completed the level. That treasure chest on the side there, nobody finished. We completely ignore. There is no way we get it back. It is gone. So it is, again, your choice whether you want to try and work for the rewards in those treasure boxes, or if you want to just power on through like we did and complete the level. I'm going to go ahead and show you the full rewards list for completing each level and the grand prize, and hopefully that'll help with your decision. So the very first level that you complete, everyone will earn 150 dice and a yellow pack. The second level is 200 and then some cash. The third level is a pink pack and some cash. The cash is going to vary for every person depending on what level they are, so your cash amount might not be the same as mine. The fourth level is 350 dice and a new shield. The fifth level is a bigger chunk of cash and a blue pack of stickers. And the final level, the grand prize, is a swap pack, a purple pack, and a new board token. You'll also see at the top that I'm on level 2 and we have 2 tasks that are light the candles. Everybody who contributes to lighting those candles is going to earn 200 dice. So it's important to try and contribute to every one of the little tasks that you can, even if it's just once. Anyone who doesn't contribute to it, like I just contributed 1 diamond to it, anybody who does not contribute to it will not earn the 200 dice. They will contribute to finishing the level rewards, but not the individual milestone rewards. So let's go ahead and watch a little bit more of the gameplay. Here I pulled another blue card. Remember, this is the team card, so however many people have contributed to this milestone, that's how many the card will be multiplied by. Unfortunately, I'm the only person that has contributed to this, so that team card gets multiplied by 1 and it didn't help me out. So now you can see how those team cards could be very helpful if other people were contributing. There are multiple tasks that light up and color that you could be contributing to. So make sure you take note of that and contribute to multiple ones, not just one. So like the last one was lighting the candle, I moved on from there and now I'm working on the fireplace. Now if you've noticed, I've met or beat the number multiple times, so my pack was turning red. So I just beat it again, now it's getting a little warmer, it's getting a little warmer. Then once I hit 4 or 5 times in a row, my deck is on fire. Or you can pull the fire card just like this. If you pull a red card, that immediately puts your deck on fire, which is the same as if you were to successfully beat or meet the number that you chose 4 or 5 times in a row, then it will pull a third card on your next draw. So you have 3 cards to meet or beat that number now, which is huge. And this is where I would suggest if your deck is on fire like this, start choosing the higher value numbers because they will contribute more diamonds to the milestones. And you have a much higher chance of actually meeting or beating that higher number. And you will continue to draw 3 cards until you fail to meet or beat the number that you chose. Now remember before when I was talking about the treasure chests that they have each level? Sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's more. The treasure chests do cost more to play. They are also worth more in the milestones. So right now we've already completed the first 2 milestones. The prizes keep getting bigger. So the next person, if I don't do it because I'm out of tokens, somebody else can come in and steal that 300 dice. Somebody else can come in and then be like, hey, I have some tokens. I'm going to go ahead and use them and earn 500. So even if you've been trying to complete these treasure chests and earn the prizes, somebody can come in and kind of steal it out from under you. So I'm out of tokens right now. Let's say I'm going to go and play. One of my teammates can be like, oh, I want to earn that 300 or the 500. And they can go ahead and complete those and earn those rewards before you can come back and play. So let me show you, because that actually happened. So somebody else was completing the first 2 milestones, might have been me, I don't remember, but then one of my other teammates came in, grabbed the 300, and then somebody else grabbed the 500. That treasure chest has been completed, it's done. However, in this level, there is another treasure chest on the other side of the room that we can go ahead and work toward. But that one's done, somebody already stole it. So that can happen. Each treasure chest has different rewards in them. They have different milestones, like the last one have 4 or 5 milestones. This one only has 2. One person has already completed the first one and earned some dice. Somebody else can come in and grab the second part of it if they want to. I have 14 tokens. If I wanted to go ahead and spend 3 of them to try and hit a 20, meet or beat that, then I could go ahead and do that. The 20 is going to be really hard to hit, but is it worth 200 dice? That's your call. Just something to think about. But everybody has the chance to kind of come in and steal these milestone rewards. So keep that in mind as well. Now, I know this is a lot of information. This is a really long video, so I'm going to wrap it up with some of the questions that they've answered in the app. And then after that's done, if you want to continue to just watch some gameplay to kind of get a little more feel of it, that'll be at the end. You can skip over that if you want. But here are some of the questions that they tackled in the app. So how do you start it? You tap the center of the game board and you team up. You have to join a team to make 8 players, and then the adventure begins immediately. Similar to the Tycoon Racers, if you do not fill your team, they will put people with you. Those people may or may not contribute. You don't know them. They're strangers. They could be on different time zones, but they will fill your 8-person team if you do not pick the people. I've already discussed how to complete the actions by tapping on everything, pulling the cards from the deck, how it's kind of like a card game. I've already talked about that enough. The milestones, we've touched on those too. Every object that you have to complete has a milestone that earns rewards, and the rewards are shared among everybody who contributes. I did say that before, but they did touch on it during the Q&A portion in the Monopoly Go app, so I just wanted to mention it again. What happens if you leave a team? You can leave a team by tapping the leave icon next to your profile, but you can only do that before the adventure begins. Once it begins, you'll be locked in with that team until it's done. When you're trying to team up, you can search for specific people by typing it in the search box. Super easy. I did that. This is the only one I don't totally understand. The hero actions, they say it costs more, but it grants more progress. I believe that is referring to the 3 diamond tasks. So if you are trying to hit a 20 that earns 3 diamonds toward the milestone rewards, that is technically called a hero action. If not, then I just haven't seen it yet. So I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. I already talked in the video about the deck temperatures. Succeed 4 times in a row, your deck's on fire, which draws an extra card. If you fail and you start cooling off, eventually it goes ice cold and you get a couple of added bonus points. And like I mentioned before about the treasure chests, those, once the level is progressed, it's done, it's gone. You can't go back and try and grab them. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If you have any questions whatsoever, drop me a comment. I will do my best to answer them. I tried to touch base on as much as I could, but now I'm just going to go ahead and run through some gameplay. So if you want to see more of it in action and get a little more of a feel of it, here's your chance. I'll just go ahead and put some music in the background and you can stop listening to me talk. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content. Thanks for watching. Bye.